Hey there. Haven't done this for a little bit. This kind of evening discord, or discourse is the better word. We did this for about a month, or maybe 3 weeks, where I was after work going out and finding a picturesque setting to sit and talk a little bit. And it wasn't so much that I ran out of things to talk about as I simply got roped in by that software, uh, StreamYard, and I kind of got all into the machinations of that. I tried because I could stream simultaneously to YouTube, and to Facebook, and to Twitch, and to the StreamYard place as well. 4 places at once, and 4 is a lot more than 1, right? So, but I quickly discovered that the audio wasn't so good. So I tried various things. I bought a nice mic and got that all set up, and that was pretty good. But in the process of all of that, it kind of just splintered, and what wound up doing it at my desk, which is also the same place where I work, and doing this kind of thing at the place where I work all day just has a different vibe. You know, at work I'm a very different person. I'm me, but I'm very. If you've ever worked with me, you'll know that I'm all business. You know, a little bit of humor, but all business and go 24/7. When I do this kind of stuff, I like to be a little more relaxed. You know, take my glasses off a little bit and ease up. So it's hard to do that at my desk. It's hard to take my glasses off now with my bad vision, so I'll leave that up. So tonight I thought what I would try. I'm kind of resolved to do this because I really enjoy this. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to go through my principles and objectives. Hey, Reese, good to see you. Every morning I do the Good Life meditation, which is my recitation and reminder. Hey, hence K2, good to see you. Twin Lamps, good evening, Kurt. Lovely hearing the crickets chirping in the background. It is a nice evening. It's Indian summer, as they say here in Irvine. I've still got my long sleeve shirt on for work, but it would be definitely a nice evening to take off the put on a short sleeve shirt. But every day I do my little recitation. I get up, I leash up the dogs, and we leave the house, and I walk. As I walk, usually it's about a 40-minute walk with the dogs in the morning, and then another walk in the lunchtime, and then a nice really long walk at night, like an hour and a half. Twin Lamp says it's the same in Japan. Is it really? Do you have the crickets now in Japan? Or is it past that season? I wonder. But as I walk, I go through one by one the good life. And if you've seen some of my videos from the desert, every now and then I would produce a good life video where I would stop in my tracks and somewhere in the desert and recite the principles, the objectives and the principles, just to share that with the camera, because it has a different ambience and feel out there. Here, and when I do it here in my urban setting, it's more mechanical. It is I kind of just sometimes if I'm really I'm not tired. I'm never tired in the morning, but if I've got work on the mind, I will just go through it quickly. When I'm in the desert, I don't do that. What is that awful sound? We'll move if that keeps up. Can you hear that? It's like an electric grating sound. Let me know if you can hear that. If you can, we'll go. I can even sneak into the pool area. Here's the pool right over there. It's just past that season in Kyushu, but they came back this week. They may have died off last week, but when it was cold. But this week it's considerably warmer. Interesting. Down in Kyushu. Interesting. So, so I wonder what the crickets do. I wonder if they just kind of hide away. I'm sure that's, and then when it gets warm, they kind of come back out again, perhaps. Oh, speaking of Japanese, that's a Japanese woman and her daughter right there. She's got a son too. I see them sometimes sit right there at this big table. Once every morning, she's there with, they have a tutor, a Hispanic woman that teaches them English during the day. So mother will sit there and with the two kids, and they'll be practicing their English. And I've spoken Japanese at the kids before, you know. They kind of look at me kind of askance. I've never quite summoned the courage to speak to the woman in Japanese. But there's lots of Japanese here in this community. In fact, our next door neighbors right across from us, the way we live now, we live mostly a patio life. And the patio across from us, it's a Japanese woman and her foreign devil husband, you know, white guy like me. And I think she's a professional gamer, because she has her office is right next to my office is in the bedroom. Her office is in the room, and she keeps the window open slightly, and she's got a really nice setup in there. Like when she's got it, I can sit right across, I can see her in there, and she's literally from dawn until late at night. They have no kids. She is on video games. And she's got a big microphone like I've got it. She's talking at it in Japanese, and when she gets really excited, like just before I left, she was again, "Hayaku, hayaku, hora." You know, so she's talking to somebody, "Hurry up, see, I told you," right? So I haven't, I know. So there's another Japanese family right across from us, right? Darth Sept says, "Hey Softy, any plans on doing a spin-off to Abandoned Japan, like abandoned places in America near you?" Not really. I thought about that. I did a couple of videos like that. They just didn't interest me. So I did one, an abandoned house like up in the forest. That video got a lot of views. It still continues to get a lot of views. And then I did a couple of places out in the desert. Just my heart wasn't in it. It felt like work, you know. Doing it in Japan felt like love. Just really have no interest in that kind of stuff. I'd do it again if I went back to Japan. In fact, if I went back to Japan, I'd do everything again. I'd just take off where I left off, albeit with however many years, now 6, 7+ years of change and maturity under my belt. Oh well, some things are left in the past. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it wasn't so much the abandoned that got me. It was the abandoned Japan, right? Abandoned America doesn't interest me. It just has a different feel to it. But it would be really interesting to do abandoned Japan. More interestingly, it would be interesting to do walking in Japan, who I am now rather than who I was. Spoozy says, "Greetings, Kurt. It's me, Ron. It's my other account." Hey, Ron. Spoozy, eh? Ron, I just finished watching a really, you weren't here, the other night I mentioned you, and I mentioned and someone just went to the website from Aruca, Spain. Who are you? Are you watching right now? Whoever it is in Aruca, Spain, welcome to the website. It's always interesting how people always show up at the website. They must see it in the description, because I think it automatically appends the goingalone.org website URL there. But Ron, I just finished watching a really good Israeli movie. It may not have been Israeli. It may have been from Switzerland, I think. Anyway, it was called, what was it called? The Enlightenment of Mosey, and then his last name, and then someone, Henderson, Nevada. It just went to the website too. Hey, I see you. I seem like you always seem to go when you show up here. The Enlightenment of Mosey? No, it's not Moshe. It was, I can't remember. It's on Netflix. And it's a movie about a young Jewish man. I think he's Orthodox Jew. Is that Hasidic? And someone from Grovetown, Georgia just went to the website. Welcome everybody. Check the countdown. I think I'm just 2 days away now from Siberia, and I'm going to go in earnest this time. Anyway, Ron, it was about this young Hasidic Orthodox Jewish man, and his experience with what do you call them? Women who are not Jews. Goyles? No, not Goyles. Shiksas, right? Shiksas. His experience with shiksas when his family wants to set him up to get married, and shiksas. Do you know the movie? Do you know the movie I'm talking about? It starts off the young man. He has kind of you know, like hair about the color of mine, a little more blonde than mine. He's got a big bushy kind of a beard, just as you know the Jews do. But every now and then in the course of it, he'll turn and talk at the camera, and he'll explain a little bit about traditional Jewish culture, about how he's supposed to find a good Jewish girl, get married, have a lot of make a lot of Jewish babies. Yeah, I do. I'm surprised I do to be honest. Wait, I do? You do what? You do know the movie I'm talking about? Have you seen it? The Enlightenment of Moshe. I think it's not Moshe. Moshe was his uncle. You know what I'm talking about. So I watched it dubbed in English. Is that a movie from Switzerland? Or is it an Israeli movie? Because it's set in Switzerland because he goes to Israel to find himself to find a girl, right? He gets set up, right? The rabbi sends him to this guy in Israel to help him with an arranged marriage, but he doesn't know that the guy in Israel has kind of gone off the rails a little bit, and he's kind of done this merging traditional Jewish life with like Eastern stuff, like chakras and stuff. And wasn't it funny, Ron, that one statue is Om Shalom, Om Shalom. I was busting up. Oh my gosh. So I'm on a real kick. I've been watching a lot of that stuff. So I'm glad that you know, Ron, Spoozy. Someday you got to tell me what that reference to is. I mean, softypapa has some potential sexual innuendo right there. Although all these years, no one's ever asked me if I have any dysfunctions. Jaden says, "Hey Kurt, it's been a while." It has been a while. I'm sorry I got kind of sidelined by that other thing of making the videos from my room. With the microphone. This is better. Just keep it to YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to talk tonight. I kind of got sidelined. I was talking about, not sidelined, you guys didn't sideline me. I got sidelined by my own self, my thoughts. I do in the morning, I talk about the good life, right? I do go through the objectives and principles, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'll turn the camera on. I'm going to talk about the principles, go through them in turn, and then talk about one. Maybe I'll read a little bit more from the book, and then we'll go on. And I added a new drawing. Emily made a really neat drawing for me. Really neat one. I'm adding it to the heading. It's going to go here. I'll show you the chapter here. This is the chapter for the anxiety hike, and Emily made a really cool drawing that's going to go right here. It's already in there. So new copies of the book will have that. Spoozy says, I actually chose the name because back in middle school I got that nickname. I do not know how I got that nickname, but yeah. Awesome. Is there a little B in front of that? Is it B Spoozy? Darth Sept says, no one asked Softy because your audience isn't childish like Victor's. LOL. Hey, I'm part of Victor's audience. well, I will agree. The people that seem to watch my videos are a very nice lot of people. It's interesting, it's the viral videos that have the comments that make me shake my head, right? It's like people that come in from left field, although I try to do my best with those. Heck, yeah, back to the Going Alone book. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna read. I'll read from it, I'll talk about it just a little bit, and then we'll go on from there. And it won't be too long. My wife had a really rough day. She's on her way home, so I'm gonna go back and hang out with her. Because that's part of the thing. That's part of the thing about finding somebody, right? Is when you've had bad day, someone that you can talk to. So this is from the chapter The Good Life, which this is an old copy of the book, so it doesn't have the art. It has the art here. And by the way, if I have promised to send you a book, I'm going to do it. I'm just very, very slow. I have like 30 to send out, and I just did one last week. I got 2. They're sitting on my desk. I just have to go to the post office, ready to go. I'll get to it. Sorry. So Emily did a really nice drawing here too. But right over here is where they start one after another. So the first one is, be always ready to die. Let me read it, and we'll talk about it a little bit. It's a good spot to do it. There's actually light. Be always ready to die. At all times, have every important life affair in order. My decided purpose, my household and finances, as well as my connections, obligations, responsibilities, and commitments. Have also my art in a state of readiness to carry on as my only real legacy and personal lasting memory after I am gone. My last photo taken, my last sketch complete, my final word penned and saved. No letters left to write, no goodbyes left to speak, no one left to hug. To be ready now and at a moment's notice to loosen my grip when life is done all at once, and then fall into darkness without a single backward glance, or backward thought, or longing backward memory. So there's three elements to that, to be always ready to die. The first is the element of having my affairs in order, namely my finances, because I'm a family man and people depend on me. I'm the breadwinner, and I have to make sure that my family's taken care of. The second one is my personal connections. So make sure that my relationships, to the best of my ability, are square and in good order, that I don't have anybody that I have yet to say I love you to, or to let them know how I feel about them, and to settle any issues, if any remain outstanding. To basically leave in good shape with the people that are in my life, to the best of my ability again. And the third one is, I don't like this word, but it's the best it can comes up with, your fortune, your family, and to use the F, or the fame, right? Fame in this case simply being whatever legacy you want to leave behind. So I ask myself in the morning, when it's the very first one, I have the dogs leashed, I walk out of the gate, I start walking, it's still dark when I leave, I start walking, I say, okay, to be always ready to die. And I ask myself, am I in good shape with Yumiko? Do I have any issues that I need to address or take care of with her? Okay, well, I'm doing it out of order. Let me do the fortune first. Am I set so that if I keel over today, an aneurysm or a heart attack, will my family be taken care of? I'm not a rich man by any stretch. I'm not even well off. I'm not even very stable. But I do have insurance, and I do have, which is good, and will go into effect quite quickly. So if I was to die today, within 2 weeks, my wife would get a very ginormous paycheck that would basically set her and Yumiko up, and have her and my daughter settled. They could get themselves into another situation in short order. Plus, I've created a document for all the various bank accounts that we have. I've created a document that lists all of the websites for the institutions, and the permissions to get in, and any information about them. And I have a file that has all that information in it. And I've even created another document that lists all my passwords for everything. So I should tell you guys that I have all this, but Yumiko knows where all that is, so she can get into everything, including all my YouTube stuff. Because this does generate money, right? There is money that comes in from this. All the money from YouTube gets shunted into not just a separate bank account, but at a separate bank. I use it to pay for stuff like the purchase of all the books that I send people. I use it to pay for my motorcycle trips to the desert, everything. This is a way for me to segregate my art, right? My going alone. All this stuff that I do, buying cameras and everything, gets paid for through the sale of books and through the revenue generated from my 20 plus accounts. And I want my family to be able to access that after I'm gone. Just to let you know that I've also set up those accounts to run to keep things going in perpetuity. So so the money comes in from the various sources, goes into those accounts, and then things like the web servers, all that kind of stuff gets funneled from that, get taken from that. The only challenge I have is that the cards that I use for that account will eventually expire, in which case I haven't quite figured out how to do that. So then it will stop. And greetings from San Francisco, California. Just went to the website. So, am I in good shape with my wife? Yes, I am. Am I in good shape with my daughter? Yes, I am. There's always challenges, young adult that she is. She's got her mind outward bound. There's always something more that I wish I could say to her. I'd spend a little more time with her, and things like that. My brother, to the best of my ability, And Tel Aviv, Israel. That must be you. That must be you, Spoozy, Ron. Yep. There you are. Just went to the website. Check it out, Ron. It says on my way. I'll be in Siberia in 2 nights. The Yeah, thank you, Missy. That's the only good planning I have. Everything else I'm absolutely terrible at planning. Absolutely terrible. I have burned through, more than $1 million in my life, far more than that, and have next to nothing to show for it. except, except the humility that came of losing it all. And when I was prosperous, I was one of those types that thought that, why isn't everybody prosperous? Right? Well, if they would just, work hard and have a little luck like me, and then they too could do it. And now I know that the best, I know that, man plans, God laughs, right? So, and that humility is worth more than $1 million to me. So, and I can't take it with me anyway. So I don't worry too much about money slipping through my fingers at all. I don't worry about that at all. Not at all. Which will ensure me that I will die broke. Just like my dad. So this is my daughter, my mom, yeah, to the best of my mom. What am I gonna do with my mom? I call her every weekend just to make sure she's okay. And if she'll see me, I like to see her, but she doesn't usually want to see me, so what can I do? So that's my family, my fortune, that's my fortune, and my family, and my fame. Now my fame is, and what if I use that word, I use that word cautiously? No, that's the word. I don't mean it fame. I simply mean that I said what I wanted to say, right? I lived my life, I got it written down, it's here. If I die today, that's fine. My great-grandkids can if they're interested, they can find out what it's all about. I think it'll be on Amazon, or maybe Emma will have a copy. So there's that. So that's what I do. I always try to make sure that am I ready to die, right? That's the first principle, first objective. Be always ready to die. Be always ready to die. Not wanting to die, but ready to die. Let's see a few more comments here. You know what scares me? Oh yeah, Spoozy says, yep. Jaden says, you know what scares me? The uncertainty of the future with COVID looming over us. Yes, indeed. But it's interesting, even though they're just press releases, there's a second company that released today a press release that their COVID vaccine has like an even higher efficacy rate than the one from Pfizer. That has Pfizer has like a 90%. This new company 95%. Of course, it's just a press release. It needs to be peer reviewed. But I mean, no company is going to put those kind of information out there and risk their credibility if it wasn't well vetted. But 95%. And what's the other thing is that they've got a secret sauce recipe that apparently the Pfizer one has to be maintained at an incredibly cold temperature. Room temperature will destroy the vaccine. But apparently this new one can be kept at just freezer level storage and can actually survive for a short time. With room temperature, so that's good because that means that the facilities don't have to invest in ultra cold freezer units to store the vaccine. So that's good news. Maybe we'll have a vaccine. Now it's going to be interesting to see how we can get it out. Right? It's one thing to have the vaccine; it's another thing to deliver it. Missy's domain. I wish I feel financially stable someday. I hope you do. I know that feeling. I know the feeling of having $1 million, if not mostly in the bank, if partially there. And it is a good feeling knowing that you can weather just about anything. I can tell you also that feeling is not enough. That's why the very last of, I wonder if it's in this book. Is this book new enough? Because I just recently added it. The last principle in my book is it even in here? No, it's not even in here because this book's too old. Is nothing is enough. The recognition that nothing is indeed enough. But that isn't related to just the money. Let's see. Jaden says, I've saved for years. I'm very lucky to have had the chance to save enough to live a comfortable life and supply for my family. That is wonderful. That is the dream. That is the way to do it. I wish that I had done that. Jaden, even if you die, you have a big legacy left behind. Yeah, I guess so. Not that it really matters. Nothing really, because nothing really matters. Boy, is that the nihilist in me? It's so funny to try to balance that, because I really do believe that nothing really matters. But at the same time, that sounds so, I mean, like, loving babies, taking care of puppies, rescuing animals from an animal shelter, nothing matters, saving people, helping people, help, solving world peace and hunger. Does that really not matter, Kurt? Yeah, it does matter, but it doesn't either. And Allie says, hi Kurt, I have PTSD and I'm so scared of the future because I miss work due to depression and anxiety. I want to learn to live, not survive, and trying to fear death. You're inspiring, thank you. Allie, would it help you to know that I suffer from a lot of that as well? I struggle every day with going to work. The hours from 5:50 a.m. until 7:30 in the morning are the hardest hour. What is that? 5:56. It's an hour. That's an hour and what is that? 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. I can't remember that. Oh, a little less than 2 hours. It's the hardest time of the day for me. I really struggle with that, and that's because work is very hard, and I want to do a good job, and I'm really challenged. I'll say I'm probably a little over my head, a lot over my head, in terms of what I'm doing, and trying to catch up, trying to learn while doing. What does that sound? Sounds like an airplane's about to take off. So I really know what you're saying. Maybe not to the extreme. I don't know. I can't say that it's one for one, right? But I know what it's like to struggle, and I know what it's like to get through it. In fact, I'm working on it. I can't show you. It's on the phone. This book is complete. Going Alone is about going into the wilderness and realizing that we're all alone in the universe, and we just have another. Dealing with this stuff, of the challenges of taking life so seriously is another matter, and I'm working on it. I have a little notepad in my phone that I refer to in the morning as I take notes as I work on it. It's a project, maybe something to follow the sequel to this of this good life, and then maybe something else to follow that. La 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 la. Cloud S says greetings. Dennis, hey Kurt, glad to catch you live. Yeah, glad to see you. Dennis, I hope you're feeling good. I am feeling good. Yes, thank you. Jaden, I agree. Nothing truly matters in the end, but we make the best of it. You know what? Let me greetings from to San Diego to the website. Yeah, in the end, that's an interesting thing. Nothing matters in the end, but doesn't even matter now. As a father, how can I say that, right? Of course it matters. Of course it matters if I get up in the morning and shave and put on a clean shirt and do my job. It matters to my wife and it matters to my daughter. But the little philosopher in me keeps telling me it really doesn't matter. Now that said, I'm not going to live like it doesn't matter. I'm not going to give up and walk away from my family and turn my back on my responsibilities because even if it doesn't matter, it's an important role to play, I guess. Missy Domain, I know this is insignificant, but it's sad that so many struggle financially in the world, and then you see people like celebrities living the good life. It just doesn't seem fair. Yeah, Missy, interesting. Yumiko and I yesterday, every weekend on Saturday, so it wasn't yesterday, it was Saturday, we take our two little dogs for a walk. Living here in Orange County, we're surrounded by really beautiful communities. And so sometimes we'll go down to San Clemente or Dana Point or Newport Beach or Laguna Beach or Huntington Beach or wherever. And we'll typically walk along the beach with our dogs. And welcome to the website from Essen, Germany. Now, even if you're not from the place I say, because sometimes the website isn't really good at pinpointing exactly where you are, but it looks like someone from Germany just went. But on Saturday, Yumiko and I went to Balboa Peninsula here in Orange County. And in particular, we went out to the very end of the peninsula and we walked the dogs along a walkway on the inside edge of the peninsula, right out at the edge. Not right out the edge, by the Balboa village. And somebody from Brazil, welcome to the website. And we were walking along a place where they have these big, ginormous, practically mansions. And then they have like an area on the beach of private beach, and then these big docks that go out on these private boats, and some of them are really enormous. And we walked through kind of in dazed and somebody just from the United Kingdom, from Moore Park, it says, United Kingdom, welcome. And Yumiko and I really didn't say much as we walked. We just quietly walked the dogs, and we saw a couple of people, the residents there, enjoying their, what is the word? What is the word for that rarefied air? And some from New Glasgow, NS. What is NS? New Glasgow, New South Wales? I don't know. Halcyon? Can I use that word? Halcyon life? You know, that rarefied, almost like tonight, this kind of almost like a balmy bathwater Indian summer night, but every day of the year, right? Or at least in appearance, right? We got to the other end and we found a little park, and Yumiko and I stopped. And now Yumiko's not a woman of too many words, but she is a woman of great depth. Wisdom is the word I would use. She's my sage. She's my oracle. Nova Scotia. Oh, okay. And is that you? Is that you, Hens Case, too, from Nova Scotia? Or you just know what NS stands for? I love that scenery. It looks so cozy. It is nice. Oh, okay. No, it isn't. I know enough about you, Hens K2. I should know where you're from. So I don't remember. Sorry. Anyway, we sat there and we both had the same. It would be me. I'm from Nova Scotia. Oh, okay. Hey, Jaden. Nova Scotia. I almost hitchhiked to Nova Scotia once. I missed it by half a continent. And someone from Geneva, Illinois just went to the website. Welcome. Anyway, we got to the other side, and I'm not one that necessarily, I'm a capitalist, I guess. But we got to the other side, and I got this bittersweet feeling. I mean, this strange feeling. I sat there, and Yumiko and I were talking, standing in this little park right at the end of all those strip of probably about 20 mansions, right, with their private things, with a public thoroughfare pathway walking right through. And I said to Yumiko, I said, I'm struggling to find a way. Fitzroy North Victoria, VIC, I guess that's Victoria in Canada. Welcome to the website. Oh, there's 22 of you right now. And I tried to say to Yumiko, well, Yumiko, what is it about this experience we just had of going through this like 24 mansions in this very rarefied piece of America? You know, the elite of the elite. I'm sure that some of those houses were the homes of billionaires. Australia, not Canada, haha. Oh, Victoria, Australia, I should know better. I've been to Victoria, Australia. Australia, down there in the south, right? Yeah, I used to spend time every year going down to Bairnsdale. Do you know where Bairnsdale is? Down by, what's the bigger city? I can't quite remember. I used to go down love Victoria. Beautiful, beautiful place. Down there by the seven, what do you call those rocks in the water down there? The beautiful stretch down there, the Seven Saints or something like that, standing up. Anyway, back to the topic. Yumiko, I was trying to say, and this almost sounds like not me, but it is me. It's like, yes, the 7 apostles, that's it, the 7 apostles, that's right. Do you live near there? Oxy? I never took that road. Is it, that's the road that goes like all the way around Australia, right? The one that along the coast? It would take you like a year to drive around. And do you know where Bairnsdale is? Right there by those lagoons there. Beautiful place. Anyway, Yumiko stopped me. She knew exactly what I was saying. She was like, this is what's wrong, right? It's like this disparity, you know, the way that, you know, capitalism works, but the way that so few, the Great Ocean Road. Now I'm near Melbourne, but have relatives near there. Okay, I've actually driven on a bus from Melbourne to Bairnsdale, so I've been to Melbourne too. I love Melbourne. Spent some time at the Catholic Cathedral downtown. Nice place. And someone just went to the website from Duncan SC, South Carolina. Yes. And Yumiko and I were struck with was how so much wealth that so few can possess so much. There's an imbalance there, right? And the only thing we could think of was maybe there should be no billionaires. Okay, millionaires, we can have all the millionaires we want, but maybe no billionaires, right? So, you know, find a way to ensure that somehow that resources get distributed. Maybe, you know, socialism in a way. It just struck us wrong. You're Kent State, I'm the trapped Midwesterner guy. Oh, yeah. I think I just responded to your email today. Right. Sorry, it took me a while. I was so focused on work, and I haven't been checking my email. So, oh yeah, great. Yes, thank you. Your comment about being financially, the comment that was made earlier about being financially sound, that's what got me when I was just thinking about how so many suffer and so few do so well. I don't have a solution. It just seems that the current paradigm seems to be lacking. Hello from Toronto. Hey, Paul. And how do you pronounce that name? TFHUGIGDQDD. What is that? Is there a third position between capitalism and communism that makes sense? Yeah, maybe. I don't know what that third position is, right? It's got to have the energy and the vitality and the engine of change, right? Capitalism, of course, is the thing that allows all this to happen, right? By virtue of the fact that people are rewarded by their innovation. Yet communism, has the idea of from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. Right? They're both beautiful in a way, right? One is the engine that drives progress. The other is the one that helps to relieve suffering. I don't know what that balance is between. Is it socialism? I don't know. I'm too ignorant to really know. And these words are so loaded. Even just the saying of socialism, of course, in this current political climate, is has such a triggering effect. But it does seem that the current situation we have is lacking. It's probably better than anything else before. What is it Churchill said? Democracy is the what does he say? Democracy is the worst system there is, except for all the others. Something like that. Oh well. Well, anyway, thanks for addressing my comments, though. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Missy Daisy, Missy Domain, and just know that you're not alone in those things. And with that, I think I'll go ahead and sign off. My wife should be getting home. She had a really rough day. So I think we're going to have some dinner. I'll try to chip in and help her cook dinner. And then we're going to watch. We've been watching, we just finished it. We've been watching The Queen's Gambit. Really enjoyed that on Netflix. We just finished it. I'm so sad we finished it. We have to find something else to watch now. Got any recommendations? And maybe I'll get back. I started another Jewish series. There's lots of Jewish stuff. I love that. Dennis says that show is so good. It was cinema quality. Don't you think so, Dennis? Cinema. I mean, if you had taken that and packaged that into a movie, I would have happily paid a full price ticket to go see that. Ali says, I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, and I hope your wife has a better night. Yeah, thank you. Hey, it felt like a long movie. It really did. Yeah. The Mandalorian, a great show if you like Star Wars. No, I do. My wife doesn't. Agree. Have a great night, Kurt, Missy, Daisy. You too, everybody. Take care, and remember, be safe, but not too safe. And tomorrow night I'll be podcasting with Molly. Molly and I are trying to find our feet again, right? We were together, we're separated, we've changed. Both of us have changed. We're living in different places. We're having a little bit of a hard time finding, topics, things to relate to. But I think we'll find our feet. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, The Bench. All right. Take care, everybody.